Assalamu alaikum students. So today we are going to read the story that Jack told Joe in the chapter Should Wizard Hit Mommy? Okay. So we all know that it was Jack's daily routine to tell Joe a story. When in the evenings and on Saturday naps. Yes, so today, and we also know that the character of the story remains the same every day with slight variations. So today, the character that is going to be the protagonist of the story is Roger Skunk, and which is definitely suggested by whom? By this Joe herself. So we will begin from here. So Jack ने उससे पूछा था कि this is who shall the story be about today? कि आज किसके बारे में story होनी चाहिए? And Joe replied, Roger, and she suddenly said, Skunk. Roger Skunk. She said like that. Okay, so today Jack is going to tell her the story about Roger Skunk. A new animal. They must talk about skunks at nursery school. So it is definitely a new animal. Do you know कि which type of animal skunk is? कैसा होता है? कहाँ पाया जाता है? And many of you must be hearing this name for the first time, I know. So this is a new animal. They must talk about skunks at nursery school. So this is Jack. Joe has learnt about this animal in her nursery class, nursery school में वो उसको पढ़ चुकी है nursery class में that she knows who a skunk is. So skunk is actually a skunkweed and it is a cat-sized American mammal होता है एक जिसकी कि ना with black and white striped fur का होता है जो कि black and white होते हैं तो cat size का होता है बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा नहीं होता mammal होता है और when threatened मतलब जब उसको कोई डराता है ना it sprays a foul smell on the attacker. So then at that time he he sprays foul smell. तो अगर कोई भी उसको डराने की कोशिश करता है then he sprays foul smell on the attacker. So this type of animal skunk is a cat size का animal होता है American mammal है ये और जिसके ऊपर black and white strip है. And when he is threatened by someone, then he sprays foul smell on the attacker. So this type of animal is this. So a new animal. They must talk about skunks at nursery school. Having a fresh hero momentarily stirred Jack to creative enthusiasm. So अब उसको क्या हुआ है ना कि for a short period of time he has got a new character for his story and that is why he is quite creative and he is trying to be as much creative as he can in telling the story to his daughter. तो जितना ज़्यादा हो सकता है वो उसको बन रहा है creative. All right, he said. मैंने कहा ठीक है भाई आज हम किसके बारे में स्टोरी पढ़ रहे हैं? Today we are going to किसके बारे में स्टोरी सुनेंगे? So today we are going to listen a story about Roger Skunk. So now he begins the story. Once upon a time, in the deep dark woods, there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk. And he smelled very bad. So now in this way he has started the story. एक बार की बात है in the deep dark woods, in a very dark forest, there was a tiny little animal by the name and whose name was Roger Skunk. So there used to live a small animal whose name was Roger Skunk. He used to smell very bad. His smell was very bad. Yes, Joe said. So Jenny का हाँ पता है. She already knows that skunks smell bad. यानी उसको नर्सरी क्लास में खाली एनिमल के बारे में ही नहीं बताया गया but she is already told that this animal smells very bad. Yes, Joe said. So Jenny का हाँ. He smelled so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures would play with him. And Jack continues that his smell was so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures, उस पूरे जो forest था, so none of the animals, पूरे animals में से of that forest, they would not like to play with Skunk. Joe looked at him solemnly. She hadn't foreseen this. So उसको ये वाली बात नहीं पता थी कि because of this foul smell, the other animals would not play with him. So that is why she looked at her father very solemnly, very seriously, sincerely. She looked at him, and she did not predict it. She did not think about it that this can also happen because of the bad smell. The other creatures would not like to play with him. So that is why she was very serious, and she looked at her father seriously. So Joe looked at him solemnly. She hadn't foreseen this. Again, he continues the story. Whenever he would go out to play, Jack continued with zest, with enthusiasm, with excitement. He continues, whenever he would go out to play, Jack continued with zest, remembering certain humiliations of his own childhood. And at the time of telling the story to his daughter, he is remembering the humiliations that he has faced in his childhood. तो उसने फेस किए थे, that he faced, the humiliation, यानी जो disgrace था, जो insults थी, जो disrespects था, that he faced in his childhood. He is remembering all those things. So okay, he says, whenever he would go out to play, all of the other tiny animals would cry, "Oh, here comes Roger, Stinky, Skunk," like this. So here comes, यहाँ आ गए, this is Roger, Stinky, Skunk. Isn't the, Stinky, the one who produces unpleasant, bad smell. So other animals used to cry like this, and they used to shout like this. Oh, here comes Roger, Stinky Skunk. And they would run away. And Roger Skunk would stand there all alone. फिर क्या हुआ करता था? And then all the other animals used to run away from him. And again, Roger Skunk used to, he would stand there all alone without any friend. And two little round tears would fall from his eyes. So he would stand there crying. रोता हुआ वहां पर बेचारा अकेला रह जाता था. The corners of Joe's mouth drooped down, and her lower lip bent forward as he traced with a forefinger along the side of her nose the course of one of Roger Skunk's tears. So the corners, अभी वो she is happy ना, she was happy rather, the corner of Joe's mouth, जो उसके corners थे, so she was smiling, so उसके जो corners थे, the corner of Joe's mouth, they drooped down, so they bent a little, वो अंदर की तरफ आ जाते हैं, they bent a little, and her lower lip bent forward, जिस तरीके से बच्चे मुंह बनाते हैं ना, like as if when they are sad. So in this way, Joe makes the same face. So the smiling face now has turned into a sad face. And what lip bent forward as he traced with the forefinger. Forefinger जो हम लोग की जो the finger next to thumb जो हमारी finger होती है उससे. So father है वो उसके बराबर में बैठा हुआ है, and he has his hand on her face. So उससे with her finger she could feel that her smiling face turning into a sad face. That how her smiling face turned into a sad face, how her lips they bent inward, and this is her lower lip that bent forward, आगे की तरफ वो निकल गया, with the forefinger along the side of her nose and the course of one of Roger's Skunk's tears. So she was so sad that as if she would cry. इतनी ज़्यादा वो एकदम से she became so sad suddenly. Won't he see the owl? She asked in a high and faintly roughened voice. Very rough voice. She asked, won't he see the owl? So this used to happen. I told you in the previous lecture that there used to be a same creature, यानी रॉजर तो हुआ ही करता था, उसके अलावा कभी किसी में रॉजर फिश या रॉजर चिपमंक या रॉजर स्क्विरल इस टाइप के कैरेक्टर्स हुआ करते थे, and then this character used to go to owl. So that is why she is saying कि won't he go to the owl? कि owl के पास नहीं जाएगा क्या? She asked in a high and faintly roughened voice में she asked her father. So that is why she is asking. उसको पता था ना कि there are same characters in the story every day. So that is why she asked, won't he see the owl? She asked in a high and faintly roughened voice. Sitting on the bed beside her, Jack felt the covers stuck on her as her legs switched tensely. So she was not showing her, tension only through her face, but her body language was also showing the same. That what happened? Jack felt the covers stuck as her legs switched tensely. She changed her position nervously. उसने उसको change कर लिया था ना कि we become very close to our upper body. ये वाली चीज होती है. So she also changed her position nervously like that. He was pleased with this moment. So Jack was happy. Okay, how she was feeling the story. He was telling her something true, something she must know, and had no wish to hurry on, because he wanted her to to listen to that story. And although the story was not real, it was just an imaginary story. But he he wanted to know her what happens when others humiliate you. So he was telling her something true. He was telling her something very true, something she must know, and had no wish to hurry on. That is why he did not want to be very quick in telling her the story. He was telling her very peacefully. But down the stairs, the chair scraped. It was dragged. Kitty. And he realized he must get down to help Claire paint the living room woodwork. Okay, so Claire is another character in the story. And she is the wife of Jack और and mother of Joe. Bobby की और Joe की mother है ये. She is what she is doing downstairs. She is painting some living room woodwork. Paint कर रही है वहां पर. So that is why while telling Joe the story, Jack hears the sound of a chair being scraped. कि किसी ने उसको being dragged, कि उसको खींचा है वहां पर. So yeah, dragged या pulled. So a chair was scraped, a chair was pulled. So he listens that sound. Who? Jack. Well, he walked along very sadly and came to a very big tree, and in the tip top of the tree was an enormous wise old owl. So finally, the owl has come in the story. ये भी आएगा. And I told you, remember कि this is a fable. And fable is where you have characters like animals होते हैं या natural forces होती हैं या कुछ भी non living objects हो सकते हैं as characters in a fable. So that is, and I told you that it is a story within a story. So story हम पढ़ रहे हैं, a story that we are reading, that there is Jack, his wife and his daughter, who he is telling the story. अब उसके अंदर जो story चल रही है, that we are reading now. So that is why it is a story within a story. कि एक story के अंदर story चल रही है यहाँ पर. Well, he walked along very sadly and came to a very big tree, and in the tip top of the tree was an enormous wild owl. So finally, Roger Skunk has seen, he has met with an owl. Finally, जब उसने कहा था ना अभी पीछे कि won't he see the owl, कि वो owl से नहीं मिलेगा क्या वो owl को नहीं देखेगा, won't he meet the owl? So that is why finally the owl has also come in the story. He is also there now. And when she listens that Jack has told her that finally he has gone to the owl, well, he walked along very sadly, chalta jata, and then he comes across to a very big tree, and in the tip top, on the top of that tree, on the highest part of that tree, was an enormous, very big, wise, intelligent old owl. Owl को सब बेवकूफ समझते हैं, but don't think कि owl is, it is a foolish animal. No. It is a very wise animal. Remember this. So this is के was in हम लोग बोलते हैं ना उल्लू ही हो तुम तो. This is के वो तो हम लोग बोलते हैं, पता नहीं होता कि actually owl is a very wise animal. So उसको finally जो उसको पता चलता है ना कि Roger Skunk has gone to the owl. Good. She is happy. Good. हाँ अब ठीक है. Mr. Owl, Roger Skunk said, all the other little animals run away from me because I smell so bad. So he is telling him his problem. Mr. Owl, what happens whenever I go to other animals, they all of them run away from me. And why they run away? Because I smell so bad. I smell very bad. So you do, the owl said. So what is the lie in it? You actually smell very bad. very, very bad. What can I do? Rajesh Kang said, and he cried very hard. So like, yes, very, very bad. Yes, I smell very bad. So, but what can I do? What can I do to get away of the smell? कैसे मैं इससे बचूं? Rajesh Kang said, and he started crying bitterly. बेचारा बुरी तरह से रोने लगता है. The wizard, the wizard! Joe shouted and sat right up, and the little golden books fell from the bed. And again, what I told you in the previous lesson, एक character हुआ करता था Roger, then he used to go to Owl who would tell him the way to the wizard, जो उसको wizard का रास्ता बताता था. That is why Joe already knows के what will be the next step of the story. So that is why she says very excitedly के the wizard. Joe shouted and sat right up, and then she sits, although she was lying down, she was lying in the bed, but now while saying this, the wizard, she sits in the bed and a little golden book, and while doing so, a little golden book, it comes out from the bed. वो गिर जाती है उस पे से. It comes out from the bed. Now, Joe, Daddy is telling the story. Do you want to tell Daddy the story? So, this is now Jack says, "Okay, Joe, it is me who telling you the story. मैं बता रहा हूँ ना story. Do you want to tell Daddy the story? Do you want do you want to tell me the story? अगर तुम बताना चाहती हो तो, no, you, me. No, I don't want to tell you the story. It is you who should tell me the story. No, you, me. Then lie down and be sleepy. So he is trying her to, sleep na ke, that is why. Then lie down. He orders her so to lie down and be sleepy. Her head relapsed onto the pillow and she said, out of your head. So now she completes her dialogue. No, you, me, this is this sentence. No, you tell me the story and definitely out of your head. मतलब पुरानी story नहीं सुनना चाहती है, and the story that she has already read in some book, she does not want to listen to that story. She wants to hear some new story, and this happens actually. What happens when we are a child? So ऐसा भी हुआ करता था कि अगर we have asked someone to tell us the story and he has started telling the story which we have already heard, so हम उसमें नहीं लेते थे इंटरेस्ट में. नहीं ये तो हम सुन चुके हैं, we have already heard the story, please tell us something new, नया ही कुछ हमें सुनना है. So that is why she says, she has again lied down in the bed and her head relapsed onto the pillow, and she has put her head down on the pillow and said, out of her head, and I want you to tell me a story that is completely new, that I don't know already. Okay, he again continues the story. Well, the owl thought and thought. At last he said, why don't you go see the wizard? So he is thinking, okay, what suggestion he should give to the Roger Skunk, and finally he comes out with a suggestion, and that is, he says, why don't you go see the wizard? So again उसने बोला था the wizard. So he says, वही तो होना ही है. We know that the same thing is going to happen in the story. So that is why he says, why don't you go see the wizard? You should go to the wizard. Daddy, what? Are magic spells real? So she's asking, the magic spells that wizards do, so are they real? This was a new phase. Just this last month, a reality phase. So she has started asking this question, recently. Earlier she was not asking. So this was a new phase in her life, just this last one, and she has entered in this phase just a month ago, a reality phase, and it was a reality phase that comes in the life of every child. कि हम जानना चाहते हैं, then we are very excited and we are very inquisitive to know about each and everything. कि ऐसा होता है तो is this real, or are all these things are imaginative only? So that is why this was a new phase, just this last one. So she has entered in this phase just a month ago, a reality phase. When he told her spiders eat bugs, she turned to her mother and asked, do they really? So when Jack told her about spiders, that when he told her that spiders, they eat bugs, or bugs pata hai na, a small insect it is. So that is, and Jack told her that spiders do eat bugs. So she was not satisfied with with Jack. She she that cleared it with her from her mother. And she turned. That is why she went to her mother and asked her, "Do they really do spiders really eat bugs?" And when Claire told her God was in the sky and all around them, she turned to her father and insisted with a sly yet eager smile, "Is he really?" So अब ऐसा नहीं था कि whatever Jack was telling her only that would only that she will confirm from her mother. No, whenever mother was telling her something, so then she would go to father, and मतलब mother बताती थी, then she would go to father, and if father is telling something, then she would go to mother, and she would confirm that thing. So she turned and mother, when Claire told her, mother ने उसको बताया that God was in the sky and all around him, that God is everywhere. He is in the sky and everywhere around us. Then she, in order to confirm this fact, she went to her father and insisted. She wanted him to tell her, is he really? Is God really around us? And he is everywhere, and he is in the sky also. He with a sly yet eager smile. कि जानने की कोशिश करना, clever smile की. True. Okay. Yes. So the question that she has asked here is, are magic spells real? So she is asking this ना कि क्या magic spells real होते हैं? कि जादू सच में होता है? They are real in stories. Jack answered curtly. Very quickly he answered. She had made him miss a beat in the narrative, so because she had interrupted, na, so he missed the flow of his narration. So that is why he very quickly his answers. They are real in stories. हाँ, stories में सच होते हैं. The owl said. So, now he continues with the story. The owl said. So, are you following me, na? Owl told him, okay, why don't you go see the wizard? Why don't you go to the wizard? So that is why. So he is telling Roger now. The owl said, go through the dark woods, under the apple trees, into the swamp, over the creek. What's a creek? Again a question. She is raising. So the owl is telling Roger Skunk the way to reach to the wizard. So he is saying that go through the dark woods. You have to go through the dark forest under the apple tree, and then you will come across the apple trees. You have to cross them into the swamp, and then you will have to cross the swamp. Also swamp, the marshy land, daldal जिसको बोला जाता है, and then you have to go over the creek. And then she asks me, what is a creek? What's a creek? Creek क्या होता है? Creek क्या होती है? And then he tells her, a little river. So creek means a little river. So over the creek. Again continues, वहीं से continue करता ना, that owl is telling Roger Skunk the way. रास्ता बता रहा है उसको. They say saying कि you have to, you have to where? Let me open that page once again. Yes, you have to go through the dark woods, under the apple trees, into the swamp, over the creek. A little over the creek, then you have to continue from here over the creek, and there will be the wizard's house, and then you will find the wizard's house there. And that's the way Roger Skunk went. So Jack tells her that following this way, he finally goes to see the wizard. And that's the way Roger Skunk went. He starts his journey. And pretty soon he came to a little white house, and he rapped on the door. And very soon what happens? He has reached to a little white house, and this house belongs to the wizard. And he rapped on the door. दरवाजे पर जाकर उसको बताता था. Jack उसको ये story बता रहा है, and that says it. And that's the way Roger Skunk went. And pretty soon he came to a little white house, and he rapped on the door. Rap, he knocked at the door. उसको बजाना, दरवाजा बजाना, दरवाजा खटखटाना, right? Hit. He knocked at the door. Jack rapped on the window sill. He imitated that thing by rapping on the window sill. That window on the window. He told him how Roger Skunk would have knocked at the door of the wizard. And under the covers, Joe's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill, and now she has become quite she's excited. Okay, what will happen next? Now he has reached to the wizard, and his figure, his body is clenched. मतलब पूरी एक होती है ना वो कि it is held firmly and it has become very tight. बहुत टाइट हो उसकी एकदम से उसकी बॉडी हो गई है and Joe's tall figure clanked in an infantile thrill. And then a tiny little old man came out with a long white beard and a pointed blue hair and said, so finally when um, he knocks at the door ना तो फिर क्या होता है उसके बाद and then a tiny little old animal it is a very common कि जो magicians होते हैं जो wizard होते हैं wizard is one magician sorry I forgot to tell you who the wizard is magicians so कि जो magicians होते हैं they are always most of the time they are shown as very small tiny है बहुत छोटा सा है वो tiny and his very old man came out with a long white beard and he has white beard and a pointed blue hat जो उसका एक common उनका एक look होता है that he is come out in and said and when he comes out at the door he says hey what I want you smell awful so in the voice of a magician in the voice of a wizard he says hey what I want you smell so awful so who is this who is here and you are smelling very bad he says the wizard's voice was one of Jack's own favorite effects. So he himself is telling in, speaking in that voice. He did it by scrunching up his face. And how he made that voice? By scrunching up his face, by by lifting up his face and crunching in the crunching voice and somehow whining through his eyes or apni aankhein, widening after widening his eyes and within a high pitched sound he said through his eyes which felt for the interval roomy and that could be felt because of widening your eyes you can feel few tears in your eyes so he felt being an old man suited him so he put himself into that character completely as if he himself is a wizard बिल्कुल अपने आप को वही समझने लगा as if he himself is a wizard and he has completely put himself in that character और उसने उसको बोला hey what I want you smell awful and then to this question Raja replies I know it Roger Skunk said he said पता है मुझे कि I smell very bad and all the little animals run away from me the enormous wise owl said you could help me so because of this smell all what happens all the little animals of this wood they run away from me and it is that enormous that very big wise owl who has given me your address so it is he who has given me your address and who has told me your way that you can help me out that you can help me in this situation well maybe come on in don't get too close so he says okay I can help you it is possible maybe possible that I can help you okay then he asked him to come inside his house but he again instruct him don't come too close to me zyada kareeb mere mat aana hai but why because he is smelling very bad don't get too close now inside Joe there were all these magic things all jumbled together in a big dusty heap because the wizard did not have any cleaning lady so he is telling tells Joe कि now inside of pata hai andar kya hua Joe there were all these magic things the magic things were there in his house in wizard's house and they were jumbled together they were not arranged properly kuch idhar so they were like this in a big dusty heap and it was looking as if it is a big dusty heap एक heap है वो because the wizard did not have any cleaning lady why everything was dirty there because the wizard did not have any cleaning lady कोई उसके पास maid नहीं है to clean all these things why so she is asking why he does not have any cleaning lady why Because he was a wizard and a very old man. And why? Because he is a wizard, he is a magician, and he does not want any cleaning lady. He can do it on his own na, through his magic. अपने magic से सब कुछ कर सकता है. So that is why he does not need any cleaning lady. He does not need any maid to clean his things and belongings. Will he die? No. Wizards don't die. So he tells her no. कि वो पूछ रही है, will he die? मर जाएगा क्या? No, wizards don't die. So he tells her कि no, wizards don't die. वो मरते नहीं. Well, he rummaged around and found an old stick called a magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. So okay, finally what happens? Okay, well, he rummaged around and found an old stick called a magic wand. So he was looking around in and it was he searched here and there, and finally he was able to find his stick, his magic wand. अपनी magic जो stick है उसको he was able to find that after searching into his dusty heap. And then finally he asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. उससे पूछा कैसी smell चाहिए? Roger thought and said roses. Yes, good, Joe said smugly, and he was very satisfied that he has asked for the smell of roses. He wanted to be turned into the smell of roses. ऐसे smell चाहिए. So okay, well, he rummaged around and found an old stick called a magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. Roger thought and said roses. Yes, good. Yes, good, Joe said smugly. So in a very self-satisfied manner, she said, okay, finally, it was a good decision, good answer by Roger Skunk. Jack fixed her with a trance-like gaze and chanted in the wizard's already irritable voice. So Jack fixed her with a trance-like gaze. He was staring. He was very consciously looking at his daughter, and then he started singing, chanted, sing musically, and chanted in the wizard's already irritable voice. इस तरीके से wizards की आवाज होती है ना, magicians की आवाज होती है. So he started singing that. Abracadabra, hocus poo, Roger Skunk, how do you do? Roses, Moses, pull an ear, Roger Skunk, you never fear. Bingo! So finally, what has happened? The wizard has performed his magic spell on Roger Skunk. मतलब उसके ऊपर उसने अपना magic spell कर दिया. So he has finally performed his magic spell on Roger Skunk. Up, let's see कि after performing this magic spell, will Roger Skunk change? Will he get the smell of roses? या उसको नहीं मिलेंगे? Will the magic of the wizard be successful? या नहीं होगा? अभी तो हमको नहीं पता, and I'm not going to tell you in this video. To know whether the magic spell was successful or not, you will have to come along with me in my next video. So till then, देखते हैं next video में क्या होता है, क्या नहीं होता. Till then, you have to just think about what happens next. And we will meet in our next video. Allah Hafiz.